When you start making generalizations or criticism about Islam, you have to test them against now 14 centuries of Islamic history. For example, a lot of people have argued, both among Western scholars and among Muslims, that Islam is hostile to economic development, that it has a negative effect on economic expansion and growth. Well, it may have done so in recent centuries, but if you look at the greatest age of Islam, it had exactly the opposite effect. I mean, in virtually every field of economic activity, as well as in other fields of activity, Islam was first in the world. In the age of its efflorescence, the Islamic world was an incredible network of industrial and commercial development. Already in the 10th century, they had developed a sophisticated system of banking. You could draw a check in Basra and cash it in Morocco. They had a system of credit and financing far ahead of anything that existed in the European Middle Ages. It is true that Islam forbids interest, but there were ways around that by partnerships of various kinds. There was, I would say, a much more favorable attitude to commerce in medieval Islam than there was in medieval Europe. You have traditions of the Prophet saying, Al-Kasibu Habibullah, the one who earns money is the friend of God. That the merchants are the messengers of God on earth. Commerce is seen to be a good thing. Profit is seen to be a good thing. Interest is evil and forbidden, but profit is praiseworthy, meritorious. So that I don't think one can argue that Islam as such is hostile to industrial and commercial development. If you look at the early centuries, you would say just the opposite. So I think the question which one has to ask is not what has Islam done to the Muslims, but what have the Muslims done to Islam?